People often think about leadership as power and authority. What do we actually think about leadership? It's the glamour, it's the power which we see and associated with the leadership, right? People often think that the decisions are made in a comfortable room with a lot of confidence and certainty, at times with a lot of fanfare and applause. That is not the truth. That is not the fact. There is a lot of difference, lot of confusion, lot of uncertainty in taking that leadership decision. There is a lot of loneliness in deciding that final thing which you come out in the moment of crisis. Now, why because of this? Why this loneliness? It's not because people have already abandoned you. It's because of the responsibility. Being responsible is the reason for those loneliness. There will be a moment usually in your life, probably in administration, in education, in health, in medication, in parenting, in every walk of life. There are moments in your life in which you will be forced to take a decision. Everybody in the room will come to you and ask, with a quieter voice, no? They will ask you, what do we do now? Think about this scenario. Some of your close ones are in a hospital. They are in an ICU ward. Okay? Just imagine, just 1 second, just imagine. Someone who is very close to your heart is in a hospital and in an ICU. And the next moment the doctor comes out and asks you a question. I've tried my level best. He is in the ventilator. What should I do right now? Should I disconnect or not? Just think about the weight of that decision. Think about that moment you are forced to take such a difficult and a heavy decision. It's not easy. That is the moment you realize that you are actually the person who is entrusted to take a decision, is actually impacting the life of so many people probably, and is very difficult to sail through that situation. I've mentioned I've been in that room quite a few times in my career. 2018 was a decisive year for the state government of Kerala. It started with the 2018 flood they have mentioned here. 2 months, in 2 months' time, Kerala has lost more than 500 lives. Can you imagine 500 people died in the flood 2018? 2 months into the flood, another problem happened. This is a man-made disaster. This is about Sabarimala women entry crisis. In 2018 October, Supreme Court has come up with the order permitting women entry in Sabarimala. Now, this was there 3-4 months, and even now there are repercussions related to that order. I was going out that particular day to Sannidhanam to conduct a meeting. I was a part of a meeting. When I go up, there were hundreds and thousands of people gathered in Nilakal and in the entire route. Lot of protesters, lot of pilgrims, lot of political activists, and lot of people, maybe a few thousand. There are around 1,000 policemen deployed for ensuring law and order situation. And remember, there are a lot of senior officials as well. From Additional Director General of Police, this ranks second in the state police, till the SP, some 10-15 IPS officers, and maybe from DISP to the constable, some 1,000 policemen deployed over there. When I went there, when I was in the Sannidhanam conducting the meeting, I got an information saying that there was a lathi charge, there was a baton charge, and the situation got out of control. We were rushed back, and I came down. It takes almost 1 hour, and when we reached, the situation is just out of hand. Everything is out of hand. It's going to be a massive law and order situation. And in my life, I haven't seen so many media people together at a time, from Republican TV, from NDTV, from all the national TVs gathered there. Okay. Now, as I told you, when you are in the hospital, when the doctor comes out and asks you the same question, What should I do now? What do we do now? This is the question I've got. The media people had asked me, sir, we were waiting for you. Because when we contacted the policeman, they said the district magistrate has to take the final call. He has to say, what is the next step? Now, what do we do? What should I say? Now, I am talking about this situation which we are going to be in leadership. Each and every one of us are going to be in that room, taking that final decision in that moment of uncertainty. When we look from outside, it looks like it's very funny, very fine, very happy. Lot of power and authority. But from inside, it looks like you are standing at the edge of a cliff. You have to take that call when you have limited resources at your disposal, when you have no idea at all what to do, when you have limited information coming forward. People again believe that leadership is about clarity. Leaders have that clarity. I don't think so. It is also a myth. Leaders do not have that clarity. It's not that leadership do not have any doubt. Leadership is about taking that decision in the middle of that doubt. Every one of us will have that doubt, but we should somehow gather that knowledge and information to take that decision and the courage to move forward. Because you know that every decision which you are going to take has a human cost. You know that every file will definitely have a face. Every policy which you decide will definitely relate to a lot of people's life. When you go up, there will be a lot of people looking up to you, but then there will be lesser and lesser number of people who will be coming and talking to you, who will be considering you as equals, and you will be stranded all alone. You will realize that this is the time you will realize that you are all alone in that room. I don't think this loneliness, this situation is a fault, is a problem. What I believe is this loneliness is a signal. What does it mean? What does signify? It signals that you are entrusted with a lot of responsibility and trust to take a decision for the entire people or a group of people, right? That is what it signifies. Now, can you just think why this loneliness happens in the room? Why is it so lonely in the room? What could be the probable reason? Is it because of the criticism? We know that whenever we are in a public place, it need not always be in a public position. Whenever you are in a public place, you face a lot of criticism. Is it the criticism which decides that loneliness? I don't think it is due to the criticism. It's because, it's the moments you think about whatever you have done in the past, so many days, years, or whatever, reaching to that decision, that moments of silence, you will be considering each and every single option which you considered to take the decision. There were a lot of options, a lot of things which came to your mind. Have you utilized all the resources required to take that decision? What I am trying to tell you is why the room is so lonely. The room is so lonely because you start thinking about those decisions which you have made to reach that final decision. Those options which you have considered in your brain, you process, reprocess, replay it again and again and again. And finally, you have that kind of an internal conversation between your logic and empathy, and you reach that final decision. Probably what I feel is that internal conversation is what makes that leadership humane. Without that internal conversation, without that empathy, probably any power, any authority would remain very, very rough, very controlling, brutal force. Probably without that reflection kind of thing, it will be very difficult to have a sane decision. Without that reflection, that decisions probably would look very mechanical. True? Now, can we do something to survive this loneliness? Is there any solution? I'm sure that each and every one of you will be in that position. You have to go through this decision making one time or the other. Is there any solution to get rid of this loneliness when you are forced to take that decision, but you are just all alone? What is the solution? Is it just being very tough, very harsh is the solution? Or is it about being clear? I think clarity is the solution to get out of this loneliness. How does this clarity solve this problem? Now, what I believe is like when you have clarity, you, like what I have already mentioned, you start processing again and again and again. You come out with a solution. You will be very clear about how you have reached that solution, right? You will be very clear. Okay, these were the options in front of you, and this is how you thought about, and this is how you landed in that decision, and in that situation with that limited resources and definitely time, because time is always ticking. With that limited time, unlimited resources, limited HR, limited connectivity, the best option was that. That is a clarity which will actually help you in that loneliness. That's what I believe. Again, flood time, I told you, I had just one rubber dinghy just to save so many people. Second option was I called the neighboring district collector, Alapi, and he asked me, what is the problem? No, why do you want this, my boat? I said, there are a lot of rainwater coming down from 3 rivers, or the dams are going to be open, and then their Pathanamthitta is flooded. Then you know what is his answer? He said, I'm not going to give you a boat again. That's too much here. I asked why? Because your bloody whole water is going to come to me, no? From Pathanamthitta, every water will flow down to Alapi. Tomorrow, my place is going to be flooded. I'm not going to share my boat. Okay, I called Collector Kollam. He said, I don't have any boat. I called Kottayam collector. He said, I have one boat. I've shared it with you. My boat is already there in Tiruvalla. Now there is no boat. What do? I talked to my people there in Kottayam. There is a coracle ride, there is a coracle ride, round boats, people use for tourism thing. We deployed all those boats, some 36 boats were there. We deployed all of them overnight and started rescuing people. In 30 minutes, 40 minutes, people came out saying that it's very difficult to operate with this coracle because the flow is so fast. We cannot stay in that flow. We cannot control. This is a round thing, and the flow is very powerful. We cannot control. Second option, over. That is the time I called back Kollam collector again. And I asked him, can you please send some of the fishermen board? Okay, where did I get this information? I still remember in 2017, I was in Oki management. I was posted to assist the district collector of Toronto. I was there just to manage the people, to talk to them, to solve their concerns and complaints. That was my role there. So I have seen people going into the ocean when the tides are like 1, 2, 3 meters high. Still they were fearless and going inside the ocean searching for their near ones who were stranded in the ocean. So I've experienced that. So remembering that experience, I've called Kollam collector and I asked him, can you please share some of the boats? And that is the moment, that is the time the boats were caught from the, I think Nindakara port or somewhere. And the district collector had started sending boats. And do you know how many number of boats were deployed in Pathanamthitta? There are 435. So what I'm trying to tell you is like that making decision in that final moment of uncertainty is something which make you a leader, which design you as a leader, which will help you to emerge as a leader. It's not the glamour. Glamour, everything, the power, authority, everything will follow you. It's not the most important thing. I'm 100% sure each and every one of you are going to be there one day, sooner or later. you will definitely be first against what? To take that call, final call, to take that decision. And I'm sure, like many of us before you, all of you, at least most of you, might be terrified inside, very scared to take that decision. Whether I am capable of taking that decision, do I know sufficient enough to take that final decision? This is going to be the confusion. I want you to read a poem by Khalil Gibran. The name is Fear. It starts with this. It is said that before entering the ocean, the river trembles with fear. It is actually true. We also tremble with fear. And the poem says, the river just look back. The journey started from the peak of the mountain, traveling through the villages, forests, and the hundreds of kilometers it traveled through. And finally, it has reached here. It cannot go back. It has to finally join the river, join the ocean. Joining ocean means merging into the ocean and disappearing into it. So that is why it was afraid. But then, what is the only solution? The only solution is to join the river and merge into it. And that is when you will get rid of the fear. That is what the poem says. What I want to tell you is there are thousands of people before you who might have gone through the same situation. Any single decision which is actually stopping you, bothering you, think about it. Thousands of people have traveled the same track, same path. They were also afraid. All of them were afraid. And some of them succeeded. How? They have finally decided to take that step forward because they realized that they were trusted with that path. They were trusted with that final decision making. Even though they may not be trusted so much, but the entire people have faith in you. That's why you are sitting in that position and you are going to take that final decision. So my dear friends, I'm sure you are going to be there. I'm sure you will be facing this kind of a challenge. Do not hesitate. Shoot for the stars and you will be there one day. Thank you.